How many of you all were roller coaster riders? Okay. Keep your hands up if you were a roller coaster rider and you loved high school physics. All right, I see some of the hands slowly dwindling down, and it is well. I wasn't the best in physics. I remember sitting in Mr. Keller's physics classroom in high school being very inactive, going through the motions, counting down the days until we left Gary, Indiana, and traveled to our anticipated field experience to Six Flags Great America Amusement Park in the Chicago area. Now that's when I became active. I would intentionally apply what I was learning in the classroom, step outside of my comfort zone so that I could understand the forces used to move the coaster along. Now, what I do remember about my physics class is Newton's first law, which basically says an object in motion stays in motion, or an object at rest stays at rest unless it is acted upon by a force. Making impact, creating change in this world, adding to society, it takes one being active. Going along to get along, staying within that proverbial box, well, that requires us to do nothing. So I want you to think about all of what I just said and ask yourself, are you active or inactive in all that you do in this life? The dictionary defines active as one being ready to engage in physically energetic pursuits. How have you been active? Active could be contributing to a sports team. It could also be starting a ministry or moving in entrepreneurship. Conversely, being inactive is all about being inoperative, having no force or effect. How have you been inactive? Remember Newton's law. What if there is a force that determines our ability to be either active or inactive? What if bravery is that force? Do you remember US Airways 1549? It was January 15th, 2009, and Captain Sully Sullenberger, an airline pilot, left LaGuardia Airport en route to Charlotte International Airport. The plane encountered a flock of geese with wingspans of 5 feet long. The plane hit the geese and both main engines were damaged. Several sources said that the air traffic controller urged Captain Sullenberger to return to LaGuardia Airport or even a New Jersey runway, but there wasn't time. In an INC documentary on YouTube, Captain Sullenberger said he wanted to sound confident while speaking to the passengers because courage can be contagious. He also went on to say, we're using gravity to provide the forward motion of the airplane. Brace for impact. The article also said that Captain Sullenberger looked for a place to land over Manhattan, the most heavily developed area on the planet. He went on to say that there was no way that they could glide to a runway and that the only option wide enough, long enough, and smooth enough for them to land a jet airliner was the Hudson River. They made that water landing and all 155 passengers lived. So not only did Captain Sullenberger use courage, but his character was in play every step of the way. His courage defined him, but his character distinguished him. Now, it takes a force like bravery, courage, and character coagulated for us to impact be very innovative, and also influence in the face of fear. Courage is moving forward regardless of fear. I've read several articles and interview transcripts about six-time Olympic champion Allison Felix. Allison Felix, the most decorated track and field athlete of all time, wanted to start a family while still competing. And so Allison went to Nike and asked for maternity protections, which basically meant that they could not change her contract or benefits after she had the baby. So Nike agreed, but with a caveat. They would only provide the protections for Allison and no other athlete coming behind her. So Allison, while fearful, decided not to re-sign with Nike, but rather go on an active journey to speak out on maternity protections for other sponsored athletes. Look at the impact that she made, because now Nike and other athlete sponsoring agencies have adjusted their maternity protections and their clauses to benefit athletes who want to start a family. But what was at the center of her making a decision to be active versus inactive? What caused her to not run with the pack, but set the pace as the rabbit? The force applied is one simple concept: bravery. What if our ability to make impact on the world and bravery has everything to do with our contributions? And in order to contribute, it takes character and courage. I love a Disney Pixar movie called The Incredibles. Da-da-da-da-da! I love Elastigirl's character in The Incredibles 2 because she made an effort and a decision to try something new. When she tried something new, she was able to contribute to her family, the world around her, and of course, her community. And I really see myself inside of the character and courage of Elastigirl. When I was in that physics classroom in high school, I was also a member of the track and field team as a distance runner. Okay, I was a last place distance runner, unable to contribute to our team. My head track and field coach, Rhonda Brady Jills Anderson, enlisted the help of a phenomenal throws coach, the late Dr. Ira Judge. And he was the force that helped me to not remain at rest. The middle of my junior year, I learned to throw the discus using centrifugal force, and later was able to contribute to our sports team winning a few state titles. I graduated from high school and attended Purdue University as just a student. But when I got to campus, the track and field coaches called me and invited me to walk onto the team. And just like that, I went from being a student to a student athlete, but not really. There is this hub called the National Collegiate Athletic Association, or NCAA, clearinghouse. The house didn't clear me. I was considered a partial qualifier, a Proposition 48 athlete, and as such, I couldn't train with the team, lift weights, or practice with the team. Also, I would forfeit 1 year of competition. Now, I could have been focused on what I couldn't do rather than what I could do, but I didn't. The year that I was able to compete, at the end of the season, I placed second in the Big Ten Conference in the discus throw. And later on, I went to learn an event called the indoor hammer, or the 20-pound weight throw. Now, this is a 20-pound ball on a triangle handle connected. Who throws a 20-pound ball on a triangle handle. I did, and I used physics to throw that ball pretty far. For me, it's all about the contributions. And my personal success as an 8-time Big Ten medalist and NCAA champion, that was very inactive. The active part of my sports team experience was when I used Bravery to help my team win a Big Ten team title. And maybe I did learn in that physics classroom in high school because character and courage crystallized into champion. You know, I'm super excited because recently I received a phone call from a former student athlete that I used to coach. And he was calling to share his excitement about breaking his school record in the hammer throw as a college student. That's quite the contribution for me. You know, I have been very deliberate about not being at rest, but using my character and courage to add value and contribute to the lives of others. So ask yourself, are you brave because you're active, or are you active because you're brave?